give you an understanding of the dance of intimacy. In a healthy relationship, an intimate relationship is where you have personal closeness because you both are willing to risk being vulnerable and open with each other, not only about what's going on with you, but to be present and listen and care about what's going on with the other person. There's this openness. It doesn't have to be sexual relationship. It can be with anyone. It can be a friend. It could be a parent, child, sibling. It could be your spouse. It has to do with the emotional honesty and emotional presence, the ability to care and to hear and to understand and grow closer by understanding yourself, sharing yourself with the other person, and the other person understanding herself or himself, and then sharing with you, and then both of you just growing together. So it's a dance because in a relationship, we take steps. You can take a step towards somebody and you can take a step toward them in response, or you can move away. Sometimes people are uncomfortable with intimacy in they're unable to share themselves, so they step away. Sometimes they're uncomfortable with somebody stepping toward them, so they step away. Sometimes when people step away, it's called a distancer pursuer. Sometimes when people step away, somebody else steps forward. But if the person steps forward, you automatically step back. In other words, we each have a comfortable space between us. That's some people are comfortable with people being very close, not just physically, but emotionally. Some people are not comfortable with people being close, so they step more away. So you might be able to figure out in your different relationships, what is that dance? Is the dance mutual? Can you both listen to each other? Or is there a dance where it's one-sided and only one person talks about themselves and doesn't want to hear much about the other? Is it a dance where when you step back, the person comes toward you, but if you move toward them, they move away? It's interesting to pay attention to it and to watch the patterns. So it's a risk to share openly about yourself because you're exposing yourself to the other person, and the other person can respond. The other person can respond positively and move towards you, or the other person can respond negatively and can wound you, can hurt you. It can be very uncomfortable to have somebody respond negatively to something that you share critically, or to shut you down, or to shame you. The person's healthy, it's likely that that won't happen. But if the person's unhealthy, then it's even worse or more of a risk for you to share. The other person, once you're vulnerable and you share, the other person should, in a healthy dance, be able to listen without being defensive, listen, wanting to learn more, be curious, ask questions, not judge you, not withdraw, but to dig deeper and to get a better understanding and make sure that they're clear about what it is that you're sharing, because they care and they want to know you. They want to be more intimate with you. Intimacy can be talking about seeing into me. So they want to see more into you, to see what is going on. Then there's the mutual ability to continue to share the truth and explore the truth, whatever it takes to understand you better and to understand themselves better, while having mutual acceptance and mutual unconditional love. That is a healthy dance in a relationship. So it takes certain things in order to maintain that intimacy. And one is the ability in both people to self-introspect and to own their own feelings, their own behaviors, their own choices, their own wishes, their own thoughts, their own opinions, their own perspectives, and then to allow the other person to have their own of each of those things, and to not try to impose them on them and try to make them be the same, to be like one person is, but to allow differences. The next one is to trust, the trust to share yourself and to be trustworthy when somebody shares their secrets and their truths and their heart with you, to not abuse that, to not shame them, to not go off and tell other people. And then the other is the ability to tolerate things that are difficult to hear, maybe tolerate things that the person has experienced as a result of being in a relationship with you, and being able to hear that person express how maybe that came off, or how that was hurtful, or how that person was injured or wounded, and to not become defensive, but to be able to, with an open mind, listen to what the person is saying and try to understand, so that you continue to grow closer and not have breaches and things in the relationship that cause you to pull apart. So, intimacy requires a mutual working at staying open, staying vulnerable, staying close, and a mutual desire to understand each other without judging, without being intolerant, without shutting down and trying to impose your own opinion, and to being willing to listen. So there's a lot to that. Now, in unhealthy relationships and difficult, destructive, dysfunctional relationships, obviously, you don't have safety. You don't have the ability, if you've even tried to be honest, is super scary with somebody that can just slap you down or use it against you, or slap you down, rhetorically, like with their words and their anger and their criticism and their judgment. There's just a lot of risk in that. It would be very hard. So that's an example of the dance of intimacy in a healthy relationship. So you might want to evaluate your ability to be intimate. Can you? A lot of us are afraid of it. We pull back when somebody starts to get too close to us. Don't want to share ourselves because there's too much shame, too much fear. So are you willing to share about yourself? And are you able to hear the truth from other people without reacting so negatively that you shut down intimacy? Are you willing to be patient and learn and explore? And are you curious about what's going on with the other person? My favorite verse that has to do with this is Proverbs 25. The purposes of a man's heart are what, let me say it again so it comes out better. The purposes of a man's heart are deep waters, but a man of understanding draws them out. So the purposes of a person's heart are deep waters. Think of a deep well, but a man of understanding puts a bucket, or a woman of understanding, a person of understanding, puts a bucket and lowers that bucket down and draws out information and understanding from just deeply within. It's like being able to help a person go deeper into understanding themselves, and you get deeper into understanding the what and the why. And I just love that verse, probably because I'm a therapist. So anyway, okay. So I hope this helped you to just understand what a healthy, intimate relationship looks like. Okay. Thank you.